What up, you guys? So I was watching a video today, and in this video, two men were on a business trip. They was playing golf and stuff, and I think the speaker was Joe Rogan. Jordan Peterson was on his podcast, and basically, they was explaining. He was like, so two men were playing golf together, right? And one of the men, they cheated in golf. Like they tried to move the ball further than what it was. And the wife noticed that. So the wife tells the other guy, she's like, yo, don't go into business with this guy because he cheated in golf. And he was like, what's up, David? What's going on, bro? What's up, Rhonda? Hope I said your name correctly. He was like, yo, don't go into business with this guy. Like he just moved the golf ball, you know? And then the husband is like, yo, it's no big deal. It's just a game of golf. Like you can't say just because the person cheats in a game that has anything to do with his character in real life. But it turns out the wife was right. Like this dude ended up being a crook, a freaking criminal, like all types of shady. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy how, like they play these games. The reason these businessmen, they play these games with each other is to feel out each other's character, to feel out how they handle loss. It says a lot about a person's character. Some of you play video games, right? Like, I know people that when they lose in NBA 2K, they grab the remote and throw it against the wall. Like I knew a dude who he told me a story how he got so mad at the video game that he punched a hole in his wall, opened the window, jumped out the window and ran down the street screaming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it shows a lot about your character, how you would act in a video game. Like, and it translates to real life. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how the wife was correct about that. But the dude was like, yo, it's just a game of golf and stuff. And so they do that for multiple reasons. Like, you know what I mean? Like they won't get into business with you. They won't sign a contract with you until they feel you out first to see if they even like you, to see more about you. And when you play golf or whatever the game is, it's going to show you how they handle loss, whether they complain or whether they nag and start whining when they lose, or, you know what I'm saying? Or if they, like, if it'll tell you if they can't handle a loss, it'll tell you if they, if they talk a lot of crap, you know what I'm saying? Like they're the big shot and they're going to win the game and then end up losing and then making up excuses. Like, I don't know. It's crazy, So, and then as I was watching this video, I reflected on my life, on all the times that I played video games with people. And I noticed things about their character through the game. You know what I mean? And like, I'll show you, I'll tell you some things like, you know, but basically, give me a second. So basically in the video, the reason he was telling that story, because he was like, oftentimes the way that you do one thing is the way you do other things as well. Like, you know what I mean? If you're shady in one department, you might be shady in a lot of areas in your life. You know what I mean? But I noticed, you know what I'm saying? One time I was playing a game with somebody. We was playing Soul Calibur, and the dude got so mad that he was trying to show me how to do something, and I didn't do it. And I wasn't even paying, like, I was just playing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like to play a video game the way I feel like playing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to have somebody hover over me telling me that I need to do something a certain way if that's not what I prefer to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay. And, some people call that arrogant. I'm okay with getting advice. But when you try to impose something onto me, yo, we have a problem now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not about to impose anything onto me. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the thing, yo, this is the reason that I know a lot of people don't want to be a salesman, because they know that they have pushy tendencies and they think that sales is about push, push, push. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's about listening to the customer. It's about, you know what I'm saying? It's about listening to what they want and, making adjustments. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a reason Amazon and Facebook is like, two of the biggest companies, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause they're really consumer centric, like Facebook had to make a lot of adjustments from the platform that it was to what it is now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obvious that Facebook knows how to adjust because they have 2 billion people on their damn platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the platforms that don't adjust. They don't ever get as big, like Twitter. Twitter didn't change much since it first came out. It had a couple minor adjustments here and there. But if Twitter started doing more of the things that the consumer would want, more people would gravitate towards the platform, or the platform would have grown even more. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I was playing a video game with somebody and he got so mad that I wouldn't do something. And he was like, yo, maybe, I don't know if it's because you're arrogant or because you're prideful. Maybe that's why you won't, like, do the move that I told you to do and stuff. And yeah, man, even though it was just a video game, like, I noticed that's just how he was in a lot of areas. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of areas where he was quick to, like, point out and complain about how somebody's not doing something according to his preference. You know what I mean? And I want to talk about how you could win people over with kindness more than you can with throwing your weight around. Some of you be trying to throw your weight around, and you think you're trying to assert your dominance and remind people how significant you are, how you're the major puzzle. I mean, you're the major piece to the puzzle, you know what I'm saying? Or the biggest piece of the puzzle, or the most significant member, or the most, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the reason you're doing this. I'm the reason you're blessed. Like, people be saying crazy shit, dude. They be like, yo, like, don't bite the hand that feeds you. People be thinking that they're the hand that feeds you. And it's like, bro, like, I submit to one person as God. And last time I checked, you're not God. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, like, and you don't know what a bad taste that'll put in somebody's mouth. Because if you start talking to people like you're the hand that feeds them, it's a matter of time before they leave. And then everybody's leaving out of your life. And then you always have to find new friends, and you wonder what it is. You know what psychopathic people do? They never take accountability, ever. They meet 200 people that tell them what qualities they have that make them messed up people, and they think that they met 200 messed up people. It's those 200 people. Those are the people that are at fault, but it's never me. I'm never the one that's wrong. Like, yo, people with psychopathic tendencies, there's zero accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yo, actually thinking now, man, I used to have some damn psychopathic tendencies for a while. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have no accountability. Like, I thought it was always other people, you know, but thank God that didn't last for too long. You know what I mean? Because then I wouldn't be able to adapt. If I can't adapt, then I can't grow. You know what I'm saying? Because adaptation is the core principle for growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that can't adapt, you know what happens to them? Anxiety, depression, all types of things, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, mental illnesses and stuff. And, you know, I know some people think that you were born with a mental illness, or like, you know, whatever, that you're more prone to it, or it's hereditary. But how many mental illnesses exist because we refuse to adapt? We refuse to take on a new mindset. When our belief systems get challenged, we're like, yeah, well, that's not going to work for me. You know what I'm saying? Or like a girl in one of my last podcasts, I told you about a girl I was talking to. She was like, yo, I heard all that positive shit before. It doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it doesn't work for you because you're not applying it. Yeah, you might have heard it all, you know? And then, cause I remember, she told me, she was like, yo, I'm going through something suicidal, stuff like that. I was like, yo, I got videos that could help you if you just watch them with an open mind. You know what I'm saying? And you listen. Here's a problem though. We listen to criticize. We don't listen to try to learn shit. We listen to have a problem with what's being said, and then compare it to whatever we think we know that we consider wise. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy, because like whatever you consider wise might be foolishness. You might embrace foolishness as your wisdom. And to you don't know any better because it sounds wise. It seems wise. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says, there's a way that seems right to man, but it leads to death. Its ways always lead to death. You know what I mean? But it seems so damn right, but it's not, you know? And all you're getting, get more understanding. It says, my people perish for a lack of understanding. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of situations where people they just don't understand certain things, and they don't want to try to, you know, understand, you know? So, I want to talk about a couple other things as well. But yeah, that was crazy, the video that I saw today when, you know, he played golf with somebody just to feel out their character, to see what type of person you are and stuff. And I've played video games with people that, yo, like, they lose their mind when they lose, man. They start cursing you out. And it's like, bruh, like, you can't handle a loss. What the hell? It makes you not want to play video games with them. You know what I'm saying? And then there was something else I saw in his video where he was talking about, he said, don't let your kids do the things that make you dislike them. You know what I mean? He says, don't allow your kids to become people you dislike. And what he was saying is, when you ground, he went further into detail, but basically what he was trying to say is, when you ground your kids into the people that they should be, you know, other kids are going to gravitate towards them, and they're going to get along with adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a kid gets along with adults and other kids love him and want to be next to him, the whole world opens up to that kid, and opportunity opens up to him. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always a person that's going to give you the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's always a person that's going to, like, you know, whether it be like introduce you to someone, because, you know, it's crazy how life works. You know, there's always someone else who has the key to your future. You know what I'm saying? And like, not that it's all on them, because like, it takes skill and talent. It takes things that you got to do as well. But what I'm saying is, like, it's crazy how you might be one person away from knowing that one person that you need to get familiar with. You know what I'm saying? Like, Maybe somebody you already know knows the person that you want to get connected to, and you might not even know that because you don't really talk to them. The only time you call them is when you need them. You know what I'm saying? But they know exactly who you want to get in contact with. You know what I'm saying? And you have no idea because you're not really cool with them. You know what I'm saying? Or unless you need money, you don't even know their phone number. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, yo, being like, just being kind and being nice to people, cordial and stuff. You never know what it's gonna lead to. So one thing I'm obsessed with, all these tech nerds, like all these people that created some of the world's greatest like apps, like Instagram, Snapchat, like Facebook. These people are multimillionaires, billionaires. I can't imagine how many times they got shoved into a locker, like, what I'm saying, or bullied, or like punched in the face, and what I'm saying, and then we abuse the people that we need a favor from later on, what I'm saying, and then they're multimillionaires, and we wish we could have got in on their business plan. Well, we could have if we didn't spend our time shoving them in a locker, what I'm saying, or bullying them or teasing them, what I'm saying. So, yeah, so I really like when he was like, yo, don't let your kids do things that make you dislike them. You know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot of parents that if they found out their kid was bullying somebody else or victimizing somebody else, really would discipline that kid or tell them like, yo, it's not how life goes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't beat people up for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, plus you don't know the value. You don't know the value of the person that you're abusing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know their potential net worth. Whatever their current net worth is, it might be in a negative, but that doesn't matter. Like, where you are now has nothing to do with where you're going. You know what I'm saying? That's why personally, I don't dwell on where my life could have been or things that I could have did, like, cause it's not too late. Like, you know what I'm saying? For as long as I'm still alive, I know it sounds cliche, but as long as you're still alive, there's still hope. There's still time to like do things. And some people think cause they're 69, they can't dream anymore, or they're 79. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Stan Lee just passed away, like, rest in peace. But that dude's been dreaming his whole life. You know what I'm saying? That dude's been creative his whole life. He's been doing what he wants his whole life. Like, who says just because you're old as hell, you can't dream anymore? You know what I'm saying? Stan Lee did it. Like, why other old ass people can't? Like, I don't understand, So anyways, yeah, man. So it was such a blessing to see this video. The name of the video, it was called, it was on a Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan was talking with Jordan Peterson. It was streamed about a week ago. If you just type in Jordan Peterson, you'll probably see it. Top 3 videos, top 5 videos, streamed 1 week ago. And yeah, Jordan Peterson, man, that guy's just really smart. But yeah, so it's crazy how, when you meet people, you'll see red flags of their character that you just know that you ever know enough about a person to know that you don't want to know any more about them. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're trouble, they're whatever it is. And, people call that judgmental, you know what I'm saying? Or they call that, oh, here's another thing I've learned in a video, he was talking about how everybody is prejudiced. Everybody's prejudiced against something, like, and the way he was saying it was like, basically for me to have a list of my favorite type of video games, I have to be prejudiced against other games that I don't like as much. You know what I mean? Because I have to, like, as soon as I create a list of favorite games, it creates a hierarchy of other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that it's competing against. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always talk about Minecraft and how much I hate that game, but it's cool because that game wasn't created for people to like me to like it. It wasn't created with me in mind. I'm not their target audience, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I like Last of Us. I like Uncharted 4, you know what I'm saying? I like games like that. So, yeah, like black women. I prefer black women, you know what I'm saying, over other. I'm not racist against other, but so he was also talking about at what point can you have prejudice towards something without it. At what point does it become an issue? And he was like, this is the things that nobody wants to talk about because people assume that you can't be prejudiced towards anything under any circumstance ever. You know what I mean? And he was talking about how during tribalism, there was a time when it was considered wrong for a woman to deny a guy's sexual advances or something like that, or it was insulting or something like that, But yeah, man, even when it comes to sleeping with somebody, like, you don't say yes to everybody, you know what I'm saying? So even with that, there's a hierarchy of people that you would say yes to, or people you'd say no to, or there's a hierarchy of people that you'd rather hang out with, and it's called the right to association, you know what I mean? But some people might label that as judgmental, prejudice, or discrimination, you know what I'm saying? Like, but everyone has a preference. So it's like, what the hell? Like, can you not have a preference anymore? Can you not prefer one game over another? Can you not prefer one type of woman over another? Can you not, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, but Yeah, anyways, give me a second. Just reading some of the comments. I've dealt with crooked partnerships. I hear you, dude. It's crazy. Chillin', man. Love your audios. Thanks for coming through, David. Appreciate it, man. Check out Joe Rogan and David Grogan's So Uplifting. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down, dude. Thanks for telling me that. I never saw that one particularly. I just recently got into Joe Rogan. It was only because of Jordan Peterson, because I was researching that dude, and he ended up being on the show like 4 different times. I saw all of those, and yeah, that dude is just so educated. But anyways, yeah, man. You know, when you judge things to stay out of danger, that's not a bad thing. But people around you are gonna make that a bad thing because they think that you're, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's like, oh, every time I hear people shouldn't judge, my mind hears people shouldn't have an opinion. Because what is judgment besides an opinion? I mean, whether it's a faulty opinion or a correct one is a whole different, another story. But nonetheless, it's an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Not always accurate. Sometimes people make wrong judgments about you. But people judge really quickly. I think I heard somewhere it takes about less than 3.5 seconds for people to come to a conclusion about you once they see your image of you or a picture or like even if a video, like they might even judge you that much more quicker. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as a dude walks through the room with face tattoos and face piercings and stuff like that, and he's trying to hand in an application for a job he's trying to get hired at, he already got judged. You know what I'm saying? Like the crazy thing is we tell people not to judge according to sight, but yet we do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I think I think the only time judging is wrong when your judgment is final. Like as soon as you meet somebody, whatever judgment you come up with in 5 seconds, once you finalize it, it's like, bruh, like I just know that people have potential to grow. People grow, people change. I was watching Kevin Hart on Instagram recently, and people are trying to make him apologize for tweets from 10 years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, you want me to feel sorry about what I said on Twitter 10 years ago? And they said they wanted to invite him. I don't know if it was to a show or he was supposed to speak somewhere. He was supposed to appear somewhere. And he told them, no, thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to submit to you because like I already addressed the situation. I already said sorry. Like how many times do you want me to be sorry about what I said 10 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like there's people in this world that they be like, yo, people shouldn't judge so much. But people shouldn't be so critical. But yet you're going to judge Donald Trump for what he said 15 years ago. But you would not want to be held under the same scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool to hold someone else under that scrutiny. You know what I'm saying? It sounds weird, yo. If you're going to say that, man, people shouldn't judge as much, then why do you care what that man said 20 years ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, but people shouldn't judge. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, it's crazy. Yeah. But that's what successful people deal with. As soon as you become successful, people dig 25 years into your past to try to find something. And that's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just life, I don't know why it happens. It's just, and I know it's going to continue to happen, but anyways, yeah. Also, I got a picture quote up for this podcast. It says, if you fear losing, you can't win. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so true, man. Like, with every risk, there's potential reward, but nobody wants to risk because they're scared of losing. Or what if I don't make it? What's up, Terry Reed? What's going on, bro? What if I don't make it? What if this happens? What if that happens? I have a friend that's always asking me, he's like, yo, but how do I get into something? Or how, you know what I'm saying? And, like people are always trying to calculate exactly how can I get to my destination? And it's like, yo, bro, just take step one, you know what I'm saying? Or, I don't know, man, figure it out. Like, I can't coach somebody on how to be great, or how to be amazing or that's something you have to unlock within yourself. You got to have self-awareness to know what you're good at. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people that they want to be the world's greatest chef and they be burning soup. Like how the hell you burn soup? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like maybe you're not meant to be a chef. Like, maybe you're meant to like own a franchise, you know what I'm saying? Or own one of the, I was listening to Gary Vee one day. He was like, yo, as soon as I got tackled really hard playing football, I realized that I was a lot more likelier to own the Jets rather than play for them. And I know that sounds like an extreme statement because you'd be like, yo, isn't it easier to play for them? Because if you own a sports team, isn't that like $6 billion? But yeah, this dude, man, he's been an entrepreneur since very young. Like I think at 5 years old, ripping people's flowers out of their yard and then ringing a doorbell, selling it back to them at 5. Like, you know what I mean? Lemonade stands and You know, when he had his lemonade stands, he would watch people turn into his street, and he was watching their eyeballs. He was watching where they're looking, and wherever they were looking, as soon as people turn onto his street, wherever their eyeballs go first, that's where he puts his lemonade stand to make sure that they notice it so he can make a sale. So he was always worried about, how can I get your attention so I can make a sale? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, the biggest thing I learned about, salesmen and stuff, sales at its core, like when it's done the right way, is nothing besides the transfer of emotion, and you're transferring the emotion of certainty. If there's ever when customers don't buy something, it's only one reason: uncertainty. They don't know if the product is going to work, if it's worth their time, if they're going to make money off of it, if it's, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why everybody's saying something is a scam. Like, these network marketing companies, you know why they say it's a scam all the time? And I'm sure a lot of people are making money online, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I know a lot of us, we believe that every single company that comes out, they're all scamming everybody. Like, you know what I mean? There's no way that many people's being scammed. But you know why they say it? Uncertainty. And I don't know if it's uncertainty that whether or not they're uncertain that other people are making money. I think they're uncertain if they got involved in business that they themselves would be making money, because they know their work ethic. They know that they're not about that life, that entrepreneur life, internet life. They're not about trying to learn new things or trying to grow and become more. Like, the whole idea of being a salesman, like, I made like $50 this year, so I'm not good at it yet. But I love the concept of it because I have to grow as a person. I have to become more to have more. I have to learn new skills. Like, it pushes me to new levels. And that's what I like about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to learn how to talk to people. I used to fucking hate people, man. Like, you thought I liked any of you? I didn't. Like a couple years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with the people that I had to deal with and avoided people as much as possible. Just didn't like people. And probably because I ain't like myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I like me a lot more. Maybe that's why I like you and everyone else. And just, I don't know, man. And now I just want to, I want to try to add value to people's life and shit. But if you look on my timeline from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I posted dumb shit all day, like stuff that was not worth your time reading. Now I'm always thinking about, how can I post something valuable that if someone hears it or someone sees it, it's actually worth their time consuming, and it potentially could make them better or help them towards the process of becoming a better version of them wherever they are at currently. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, when my focus switched, my mindset switched, everything switched, man. Everything changed when what I was focusing on changed. Cause back then, like, all I was able to focus on is stuff that annoyed me, stuff that I don't think should be happening, people's attitudes that I don't think they should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, Tony? What's going on, bro? So, like, I used to focus on a lot of stuff, man. Like, I used to focus on how I didn't like people's attitude. And it's like, now I realize the people whose attitude I don't like, they don't give a damn that I don't like their attitude. And they're probably going to continue being the person that they are for as long as they want to be that person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why am I dwelling about stuff that's probably not going to change? You know what I mean? While simultaneously not paying attention to the things that I probably do have control over. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jordan Peterson has a concept that if you want to change the world, you start with cleaning your own room. I know that sounds crazy. It's like, what does cleaning your room have to do with anything? But he says, if you're above the mess in your room, then why are you trying to clean other people's mess? It really starts with you. You know what I mean? So many people want to change the world, and they think that changing the world means trying to change other people. And he says, no, you start with changing you first. And once you change, you know what I mean? Like, cause self-righteous people, they always say stuff like, man, I'm too good for this world, or more people like me need to exist. I wish there were more people like me. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, you say that, but you don't know your negative tendencies. You don't see what I see in you. That's like, nah, I don't know if more people like you need to exist with that personality type. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of self-justifying, self-glorifying, self-consumed people that they think more copies of themselves would do this world justice. Not realizing that they're exactly what's wrong with the world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, give me a second. That's called unnecessary stress. I hear you, dude. Yeah. Basically, man, I didn't realize it at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought, I used to normalize these frustrations because these were the frustrations that everybody else had. So it just seemed typical and normal. But now it's like, bruh, like, shit was destroying my life, man. It made me dwell on dumb stuff that just wasn't worth my time dwelling on, So yeah, man, it's just so crazy. Like, so when I saw that video and he was talking about that, he was like, the wife told the dude, don't go into business with this guy because he cheated in golf. And the guy was like, what the hell does cheating in golf have to do with business? And he went into business with him anyway and got screwed over. He was like, damn, I should have listened to my wife. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, man, I actually learned that today. That's why these. I was wondering, like, yo, why these fancy white people? Why when they go on business trips, they always play golf? Like, why golf? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's because they use it to feel out your character. They're trying to see if they could trust you. They're trying to see if they like you. They're trying to see how you handle the loss. Do you moan and complain? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you start cursing them out just because you lost the game? Like, you know what I mean? And then they judge you on that character that you show on, like, playing golf and stuff. And then they make a decision. Do they want you to be a part of their business or not? I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That's actually smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of people are getting into business with people and you don't know if you like these people or not. Haven't had one conversation with them, just quick to sign a contract because you think they have something that you might want. Everybody always has something you might want. It's called incentivizing you to join. But how do you know that it's a mutual agreement? How do you know that it's a even, like, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be an even exchange, you know? So another thing that I learned in this video, he was talking about the best way to get ahead in life is with having a great skill set, having a good skill set, and being reciprocal. He used a different word. It wasn't reciprocal, but the word that he used, it meant like you're always looking for an even exchange. You're always looking to whatever you get from a person, the value exchange is equal. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's people in this world that they want you to do $100 job, but they want to pay you $10. And they think it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, bro, if you want me to do $100 job, give me $100. You know, I think the people who get by in this world are the people who they acknowledge it as being $100 job because they have enough self-awareness to know that they would never do that $100 job for $10. So they know, therefore, like, with the shoe being on the other foot, they would never put you through that because they wouldn't allow themselves to be put through that. So therefore, like, you know what I'm saying? They feel funny even asking you for your services if they know the job you're doing is worth $100 and they don't have $100 to pay you. They much rather save their money and then ask you to do the job later. Those are the people that get by in life. You know what I'm saying? Get further ahead in life. The people that don't get as far are the entitled people who think just because you're my friend, you owe me a freebie, or just, yo, how about all the times I did this, or how about all the times I did that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's people in this world who they'll take you to the movie theaters 55 different times and they'll pay for it all of those times. And then now because you have a business, like let's say your business is, you work in an auto shop or whatever, like, or you work in a used tire shop and they come in there thinking that, yo, you should just give me free tires, like 4 brand new tires or whatever, like, or you should just make this type of repair on my vehicle for free because let me remind you that I took you to the, you know what I'm saying? Yo, people will do shit for you that you did not ask because maybe somebody took you to the movie theaters 50 different times, but you never once asked them to do that. I'm the type of person, yo, if you want to take me out to eat all the time, let's go. Like, as long as you're paying for it. All right, man. Like, I have no qualms about doing that. Of course, if I feel like you're draining yourself trying to do too much for me, I'll be like, yo, bro, maybe you should save your money because you're trying to be too damn kind to people to the point that you're exhausting yourself and you don't have the resources to be doing, to be as generous as you want to be. Some people be balling on a, you can't be balling on a middle class on below the poverty line budget. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're below the poverty line or damn close to it, you don't have to take everybody to eat, man, and some of you think that that's going to make people like you more. No, it doesn't. What makes people like you is you being a likable person, you being reasonable, you respecting people's free will. That's a big one. A lot of people don't respect other people's free will. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it comes to religion or being vegan, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is that you guys do, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what you're passionate about, but and it's okay to be passionate about things, but not to the point that you have to insult somebody just because they don't see the world the way that you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just understand that when I meet people, everyone has a different level of indoctrination. Like if I meet somebody from the Middle East, they might come up with shit that makes sense to them that would make no sense to me. Like, I give you an example. I dated a Muslim girl once years ago. And, I was sitting next to her on a public bench in front of Walmart. And someone who knows her father came up to me. Well, no, he didn't come up to me. He called me over. First, he called her over. And so he called her over. He was talking to her for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. He calls me over. And the first thing he says is, do you know that if you want to sit next to this woman on a bench, you have to marry her first? I'm like, what the hell? Like, I have to marry her to sit next to her? Like, how does that make sense? And he was like, yep. He was like, also, if you want to talk on the phone with her, that's no big deal, but her father has to be present. Like her father has to be on the line. If you want to date her or take her to a restaurant, you have to take her father with you. I'm like, what the hell? Weird. Shit was weird to me. I didn't know the religion was like that, like that. I mean, I knew it was extreme, but I thought that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but of course I would think that's crazy. I come from a different indoctrination than they do. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned not to like, just be like, yo, well, thank God I'm not part of it, or thank God it's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Or, so I don't know, man. Like, but I don't feel like everyone has to agree with me. But anyways, so yeah, I thought that was kind of crazy, that I need a chaperone to do everything. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like a field trip? Like her dad has to be present for everything. Like that was crazy to me. And the girl, I think the girl was like 22. She was like 22, 23, something like that. And I was like, damn, but that's their religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, anyways, so yeah, man, people have different things that they consider like whatever you normalize, it'll become normal to you, so for him to tell me that I have to marry somebody to sit next to them on a bench, that's a normal thought to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I might think that he's crazy, but in his mind he's perfectly sane. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just crazy. Like perspective could make two people look at the same thing differently. So yeah, man. But when you're making a sales, and everybody's a salesman, whether you have a product or not. But now that I learned that the fundamental of sales is the transfer of emotion, and the emotion that you're transferring is certainty. Here's the thing though, when we have our ideas, we transfer the wrong emotion. We transfer anxiety, we transfer stress. Here's how you transfer stress and anxiety to somebody: by making them feel dumb just because they don't see the world the way that you do. You know what I'm saying? By insulting them, by telling them they're stupid, by like listening to their ideas long enough to only criticize them, and then maybe you have amazing ideas. Maybe you have ideas that would make that person better if they did believe them. But for as long as you're calling somebody stupid just because they don't have your ideas, it just makes it so that they won't listen to you. They might, and I've been in situations where I hear the same exact advice. I hear the advice from a person I don't respect. I don't take it. But I hear the same exact advice, like almost verbatim, by somebody else, and I take it. Like, why is that? It's because we listen to people we like, or people we respect, or people that live a life that we wouldn't mind living. You know what I'm saying? There's so much authority in being a kind person, and so much authority you have over people's lives when you become respectable, which brings me to this point. Yo, Tony, you was doing a live, bro, and you said something about, I caught it the other day. You was talking about your name, you know what I mean? Being a reputable person. Like your name is on the line when you go on a business, like cleaning up your name, something like that. You know what I'm saying? I forgot exactly what you said, but you was talking about the importance of it. And it really is, man, because like whatever people know you for, however people perceive you is how they treat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be like, yo, why do people treat me like I'm a jerk? They perceive you as one. If they didn't perceive you that way, they treat you differently. You know what I'm saying? Like if they perceived you as someone that they can't wait to talk to, then the energy that they emit would be different. You know what I'm saying? It'd be way different. Like they would embrace you. They'd hug you more. Like, you know what I'm saying? But so yeah, man, that's why one of my favorite quotes is everyone brings joy to a room, either by entering it or by leaving it. You know what I'm saying? So what's in a name? Yeah, that one. Yeah, I saw that podcast, dude. And I was like, yo, so true, man. So true, so give me a second. So yeah, man. So I learned a couple things today watching that video, and it blew my mind, yo. I was like, wow, that's why people do certain things. I was like, yo, I thought these white corporate men play golf because they have a thing for golf. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that's just what white people do. You know what I'm saying? They go on business trips and play golf, but it's like, nah, man, they do it to feel out your character, to see if they fucking like you or not. You know what I'm saying? To see if you're worth doing business with based on how you react to losing or winning a game and what your attitude is in life. And, little subtle things. It's crazy how you could, spot the nuances of one thing and just tell so much about a person through those little things. You know what I'm saying? And I know people think that that's like too judgmental or too like whatever, but it's like, nah, it's called avoiding stuff that's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like avoiding the things that are just not worth your time. You know what I'm saying? Because there's things that if you knew certain things about a person, you probably wouldn't go into business with them. You probably wouldn't marry these people. You probably wouldn't consider them your best friend if you knew, you know what I'm saying? If you knew certain qualities that they had, you know what I'm saying? And not specifically details of their past, but just how they treat people or how they react in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are just toxic, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand when you feel like you have to cut these toxic people off because that energy starts to get inside of you, you know what I'm saying? And that starts to change you, and it starts to make you as bitter as they are, So I understand why we cut off a lot of people to avoid that energy from being put into us, you know what I'm saying? Because then we're going to be like, just like the people that we can't stand, you know what I'm saying? So we cut them off to avoid being turned into them. So I get that. But I do believe, I really believe that God wants me, you, and everybody else to get to the point that nobody could affect us negatively, that we only have the power to affect other people positively. You know what I'm saying? Because like our mindset, we're so grounded in our foundation, we're so grounded in our character that our character becomes like unmovable, unshakable. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nobody could say anything to get a reaction out of us anymore. Nobody could do anything that annoys us anymore. And and it really takes a lot of discipline. It's a place that even though I know we can't get to, it would be difficult, but I don't believe in the word like, difficult or hard, like, because if you focus on how difficult something is, you're just telling yourself how much you really don't want to be doing it. Like, so I try not to look at things in terms of difficult versus easy. I'd rather focus on, is it worth my damn time? Being a millionaire is hard. It's worth my time if I get there, though. Getting into heaven, is it hard? Yeah, probably. But is it worth my time if I get to heaven? Like, it's almost like a question that I don't have to ask. Like, I don't have to ask you, is it worth your time if you get into heaven? Like, you already know the answer to that is yes. But it's crazy when I think about how many people probably wouldn't get to heaven because of how hard they consider it. And since they think that it's too hard and not worth the effort, they're like, fuck it. I'm just not going to do what it takes to get into heaven because it's too hard. And it's like, bruh, like, like, I mean, the way the Bible describes hell, it's like burning for eternity. Like, that sounds hard. That sounds, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I don't know. I'd rather not deal with that. But anyways, that's another thing, yo, if I could talk about briefly, you can't scare people with hell, man. Like, there has to be something else that incentivizes people to want to get to know God. And you can't hit them with well, if you don't believe, you're going to hell. It's like, okay, what if I don't believe in hell? What if I don't believe in the afterlife? So you're trying to sell people on fear. You're transferring the wrong emotion. When you start transferring the emotion of certainty, and I have no idea how to get another person certain about God. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't have a specific tactic. I just talk. Like, whatever's in my heart, I say those things, But I've seen somebody speak. I want to tell you his name. His name is Dan Mohler, DANMOHLER. Such a positive dude, man. Very religious. The stuff he talks about is more religious, but he has so much inner peace that I'd be like, damn, if more Christians were like this person, people would actually embrace Christians instead of run away from them. It's crazy how a lot of us, we love God, but we hate the people that represent him, or we hate the people that follow him. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us. And I understand where that hatred comes from because, people, they have condescending attitudes towards you about what you won't believe or what you won't accept. And people fighting about the Sabbath day, or, man, you worship on Sunday. What about this day? Or you eat pork. You shouldn't eat pork. And all these rules, man, like people are trying to hold people up to certain standards. You know what I mean? And that's it. Just reminding them of what other people have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like basically being somebody's nanny, and it's like, bruh, like, like people don't want a babysitter. That's why they don't want to enter religion, because they think a bunch of people are going to try to babysit them and what they should be doing. And you need to do this. And so, yeah, man. And then we're transferring the wrong emotion. We're transferring anxiety. We're transferring stress. We're putting that stress on people to uphold a certain standard that they don't even understand, and they don't even know why they're following the religion. The only reason they got involved in religion is to avoid going to hell, but they don't care about people or God, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many people get into religion just to not go to hell, and that's it? That's the only motivation. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than a salesman who gets into a company just to make a sale, but for no other reason, just for the benefits of, I want to make a lot of money. But there's a lot of salesmen that don't believe in the company they're a part of. They don't believe in what they're selling. They only believe in making money off of the customer. But you got to understand, as a Christian person, Muslim, or, whatever your religion is, when you get into religion only because you want to get into heaven, then it's going to affect how you treat people. When you get into a business only because you care about making money, it's going to affect how you treat people. You know what I'm saying? Now everything is for a sale. Now everything that you do is predicated on, I'm going to do this action so I can manipulate this type of outcome so I could get this amount of sales, and not caring about the people at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how, I saw this movie. You might have seen it. It was called Wolf of Wall Street, based on a real person named Jordan Belfort. And Jordan Belfort, I've learned so much from his sales tactics. He has something called the straight line system. You can find it for free on YouTube, at least the first 9 videos. One of them got deleted, and I got so mad because I was like, damn, I should have saved these videos. I should have downloaded them, but I didn't. Now one of them is deleted, but it's a $2,000 course, and that's where I learned the principle of excuse me, you guys, give me a second. All right. That's where I learned the principle of, sales is a transfer of emotion, and the emotion you're transferring is certainty. I learned that from watching his videos because I didn't know that. I just, he showed me so many nuances. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I would have never, like, you know what I mean? And when I first cared about sales and entrepreneurship and all that, man, I was desperate. I was trying to sign up all of you, man. So to those of you I harassed with my business opportunity, I apologize, man. Like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just excited. I saw some random 22-year-old dude. I remember his name was Darren Fryer, Hawaiian dude, 22, talking about he's retired, making $20,000, $30,000 a month. I was like, shit, I want to make that type of money. You know what's crazy? I never once thought it was a scam. Never once did I, you know. You know what I said? My first thought was this shit has to be real. I need it to be real because I want to do it. That's all I said. I said it must be real because I want it to be real. You know what I'm saying? I just really wanted it to be real, and it became real to me in my head. And then I realized how real it was when mad people, like, I would look up different companies and see how much money they're making per month. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, so, and on top of that, like, there's things that I want to do, like, being a motivational speaker, like being a rapper and stuff. The reason my dreams are so big is because I know what's waiting for me if I don't accomplish them. A mediocre ass, basic ass existence. You know what I'm saying? Living check to check, paycheck to paycheck, never having time, never being able to do things I want or talk on a phone, or like, man, I wish I could talk to you, but I got to go to sleep because I got work in the morning. I can't even take a piss without asking my boss, can I please take a piss? Or, you know what I mean? Or can I please take my family on vacation? Or can I please take the day off? And, basically, like, the day, like, for me to take out a vacation slot, it has to be like, let's say I want to take out a 2-week vacation. I have to make sure no one else took that slot. You know what I'm saying? I have to make sure it's available. So it's up to them. When can I go on vacation? It's like, yo, fuck, you know what I mean? To hell with that. Like, I ain't doing that. Like, so yeah, man, it's just all these things that I'm gonna have to deal with if I don't live my dreams. You know what I'm saying? And I'm nowhere close to them, but I know that I have to fight for what I want, man. Because I know what's waiting for me if I don't achieve what I want. A mediocre ass life. I'm not trying to be like everybody else, and no offense to the people that are living that life. I get how much it sucks. A lot of these people don't want to live that life, or at least they claim they do, but yet they'll continue to complain about it for 25 years and then stay stationary. You know what I mean? And it's like, but then they'll hit you with, bro, it's hard, or you don't understand what it's like to be me. And you don't try to get you to relate to their story. It's like, bro, do you like your story? They'd be like, nah, I don't like my story. And it's like, so why are you trying to get me to relate to that shit? You don't even like your story. So why you keep telling it over and over? You tell it so much, it's almost like a story that you're proud of. Like, you're glad that you wrote it. You're glad that you know what I'm saying? You wrote that script. Like, tear that story up, man. Write a new script. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So I remember one time there was this, I heard this preacher talking. He used to be a rich lawyer. Super rich lawyer, right? And he gave it up to do full-time ministry. And, his other rich lawyer friends was like, I don't know how you could just leave, man. I'm tied here. I'm bonded here. Like, I have to keep this job. I don't even like this job, but I bought a lot of fancy shit that I have to maintain, and he was like, dude, why can't you leave? I left. You mean to tell me you can't leave? It's not impossible for you to leave. Obviously, it's not impossible if I left, So people was admiring his courage and saying, I don't understand how you could just leave like that. And from his mind, he's like, well, I don't understand how you could just stay like that if you don't like it. Like, what the hell are you still doing here then? You know what I mean? So give me a second. How you define yourself will define your game. Golf is a game of patience. Yeah, it's true. This is deep, bruh. Appreciate it, David. Thanks for coming through, dude. You are on the right path. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you, man. So yeah, man, I hope I'm adding a lot of value. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of just saying a lot of random stuff, whatever comes to my heart, man. And I like I said, I title these podcasts. I always stray off topic. It's just a habit. This is just my style, man. I don't really take notes or anything. I just, sometimes it's very few times where I actually took notes and then did a podcast, but usually I'll just title it and then I'll just let my mind take me wherever it will. You know what I'm saying? I just go with the flow. But yeah, man. So, being good to people, being ethical, being kind, like these things matter, man. Like getting back to Jordan Belfort, there was a time when he tried to sell $1,000 product, or I mean, I don't know how much it was, but it was expensive. And the guy actually told him, he was like, bro, I've been spending my money like crazy lately. I've been spending it like the wrong way. My wife is mad at me. He was like, I don't know, man. Like my wife might actually divorce me if I actually make this purchase. And he was like, dude, buy the product. Your wife is gonna divorce you if you don't buy the product. When she finds out you had an opportunity to change your life and you didn't take action. He was super manipulative. He didn't care about that guy's marriage. He just wanted to get the $1,000 sale. And that's why we hate salesmen, because they push their product at the inconvenience at the of the customer, at the at the detriment of the customer. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so much better when you respect people's free will. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that I do socially that I know in business or dealing with customers is gonna help me. Like for example, like I have a lot of belief systems, but I don't impose it. You know what I'm saying? Like and I don't mind sharing my ideas. It's not like I keep it locked in or anything. Like I'll talk about them, but I'm not passionate about trying to convert you. I'm not passionate about making you see it my way. Like I'm not insecure, so I'm cool seeing things my way by myself. I don't need nobody else in this world to see things the way I do. I'm comfortable doing it by myself, you know what I'm saying? And because of that, I'll never put pressure on another human being for them to feel like they have to do it my way. You know what I'm saying? I've spoken to people with anxiety. I've spoken to people with depression. You know what I'm saying? I tell them my theology. I'll tell them what I believe. But I'm not mad at them if they don't instantly embrace it, because I understand the human psyche. And I understand that it took them 20 years to get indoctrinated and get brainwashed the way that they are. It might take another 20. It doesn't have to take another 20 years, but it just might for some people to rewire their brain and be a different person. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that change is not overnight. You know what I'm saying? But it could happen overnight. It really depends on a person. But typically, it might take a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people in this world who's been smoking cigarettes, one pack of cigarettes for 15 years straight. I know that some people in that same predicament, they're able to quit. Sorry, excuse me. They're able to quit cold turkey just overnight. Just stop saying, "Yo, today's the day. Like I'm gonna finish this pack of cigarettes and that's it." And they really quit, like for real. You know what I'm saying? While there's other people who be like, "Yo, this is the last cigarette. This is the last one. This is the last one." 20,000 cigarettes later, and they're still saying it's the last one. You know what I'm saying? You might be like, "Yo, well, maybe it's harder for one person than it is for the other," and it's like, nah, man. Like both of them smoke a pack a day. You know what I mean? Both of them has been doing it for 15 years. The only difference is one person is like, "Yo, to hell with these cigarettes. Like I am quitting today, no matter what. I don't care about how hard it is." You know? And the other person's like, "Yo, man, it's too hard. Like, cigarettes keep calling my name." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, man. It's if you keep telling yourself that you can't live without the thing that you think you need, then it becomes real to you, man. That becomes your reality. Like now you can't live without it for as long as you keep telling yourself that you can't. It becomes your reality, you know what I'm saying? And it's true in your head, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy how we could evaluate truth as something that's a complete lie. But when you accept the lie as truth, it becomes your truth, even if it is a lie. That's crazy, right? Like, so yeah, man. Anyways, give me a second. Trying to think of where I was going with what I'm saying. What I'm really glad to say is Jordan Belfort, he changed as a person. He really cares about ethics now. Now he wouldn't sell a product at the detriment of somebody else's marriage. You know what I mean? Like now he actually cares about people. He cares about finding the qualified leads, qualified people, selling to people that actually have the money to buy his stuff, because his products are not for everybody. It's not for the poor. It's not for the people that can't afford it. It's for the people that are already looking for what he has to offer. You know what I'm saying? And that's where you focus your attention. Give me a second. 15%. Yeah, man. So, some of you are vegan and you're trying to convert other people into vegans. And I understand, you know what I'm saying? Starting a movement. I understand being part of something you're passionate about, but you can't spend too much time trying to convert the unconvertible. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are going to eat meat till they die, and you might not like that. You might think it's stupid. You might be concerned for the animals. I get it. But there's other people that need what you have to say, or are actually willing to listen to what you have to say about veganism. And your target audience is not the people that won't convert. It's the people that are already ready to convert because they have questions. They're wondering about well, what about B12 vitamin? And what about this? And what about iron deficiency? Or I don't know what type of questions people be having about, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I stop eating meat, like, how am I going to replace it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or what about this? And so, yeah, there's people that have lots of questions, and you can find them on YouTube. Like, you can interact with people that are actually asking questions. And, you could tell the difference between a troll, a person that asks questions and he's not really curious. He just wants to start random conversations that he doesn't give a damn about. Between a person who is really interested, like he's really considering, you know what I'm saying? Should I go vegan? And some people, like, I had a friend, he showed me a video. It was a sad video, I'm not gonna lie, of animals getting abused, animals getting tortured, like slow death. Like, it was crazy, but for whatever reason, it doesn't make me a heartless monster. I have no idea what he's gonna think of me when he hears this podcast, but it doesn't make me a heartless monster just because that video was not enough to convert me. It just means that it takes more than that approach to get my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could sell me on veganism, that I'll live longer, like I'll live 20 years longer on average than people that eat meat, I'm sold. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about living a long ass life. So if being vegan would lead to that, that's how you sell me. You know what I mean? So you got to know your customer. You got to know who you're talking to. You got to know what would get their attention. It might not be a video that shows animals getting harmed in a cruel way. That might not be enough to make the sale, or that might not be enough to make the conversion. But now if the person that hears this podcast, now if he ever finds content that's like, yo, you could live 10 years longer, 15 years longer. It's like, bro, like, you know what I mean? I need to go vegan then. You know what I'm saying? So, cause I'm trying to live as long as possible, man. Like, I know depressed people might not agree. They probably can't wait to get the hell up out of here. But, life is what you make it. Depends on what you focus on, man. Like, I'm not going to be here much longer, but I want to talk about mindset, and principles and stuff like that. But for the people that are depressed, it's only one reason, man. You're focusing on everything that you're ungrateful for, everything that you complain about. That becomes your focus. And when you're obsessed with how things are not going your way and it should be going your way, you lose sight of everything that you could be grateful for if you took a good look around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be ungrateful, you have to have a narrow view of the world, very narrow, and limited to the things that you're unappreciative of, and then only focusing on those things. And when that's all that you focus on, you got to understand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your mind is going to just be obsessed with, yo, it shouldn't be happening this way. People shouldn't have that attitude. People shouldn't post this on Facebook. Why do people do that on Twitter? Why do people treat their girlfriends like this? Why do people get divorced? Why is the world evil? Why are people dying? Why? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, man, like, what about your purpose? Like, why are you not committed to your purpose? Because the world is going to continue to be the world, but there's something that you've been put on this earth to do. So you got to become curious as to what that is and try to fulfill that. Find fulfillment in moving forward with your purpose. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the only cure or remedy towards suffering. It's carrying a load of responsibility. You know what I'm saying? A responsibility to be the best version of yourself. My favorite philosophy, I've been telling you guys this a lot lately, but Jordan Peterson, he says, the best way to live your life is to live your life in a way that first benefits you first. First, it benefits you, but also live a life in a way that benefits your household, and also in a way that benefits your state, your nation, your whole entire country, and also in a way that benefits the whole planet. You know what I mean? And if all people live like that, selfishness would be out the door. Everything would be about other people. You know what I'm saying? Not everything, because if it doesn't benefit us, you know what I mean? Then we wouldn't be so quick to do it. There's a lot of situations where people are trying to get something out of you, whatever it is, and they'll make you feel bad, or they'll make you feel like you're a bad person just because you won't help them. But the thing is, you don't benefit from helping them. Maybe your friend is always asking you for a ride to the mall. Like, every day he wants you to take him to the mall. And it's like, bro, do you have any gas money? Maybe you took him for free for like 2.5 weeks. You took him every day for 2.5 weeks, never made it an issue, never complained. You know what I'm saying? Not even mentally. But then it came to the point where it's like, bro, like, I'm going to need gas money, man. Like, like, you're going to have to pay me. Like, if I'm going to be your Uber driver to take you to the mall, or if you can't pay me, you're going to have to get an Uber driver. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't be doing this for free all the time. Like, and then some people are going to try to, like, hold you under such scrutiny. Like, yo, man, I can't believe that you're my boy, man. If it was me, I would do it for you for free. And it's like, no, you wouldn't. You would get drained. You know what I'm saying? Like, if people trying to exploit you all day, it gets tiring, man. Like, especially if you ain't got it like that. Especially if you're not above the poverty line. Especially if you're not, you know what I'm saying? So people will try to make you feel bad just because they can't get something out of you. And that's one of the most manipulative things people could do. You know what I mean? So that's why it's such a blessing to not have expectation. It's such a blessing for me. I know a friend that has $100,000 in his bank account right now. And I know that if first of all, I wouldn't ask him for money. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't. But if I ever did, let's say I asked this guy for $2,000. I would never get mad at him because he doesn't want to give it to me. You know what I'm saying? I would never hit him with the, dude, you can't give me 2,000. Well, you have 100,000 in your bank account. Like, you're not going to miss it. You don't actually need it. Like, how come you don't like helping people? I thought you was a good person. I thought you was, bro, that's manipulation. If you know anybody who sounds like what I just said, they're a manipulative person. You know what I'm saying? And they might not even realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying so hard to make people do what they want them to. You know what I'm saying? At any cost. At the cost of being condescending, at the cost of the friendship even, calling you calling you out of your name. And it's like, bruh, I don't believe that my friend who has $100,000 in his bank account, he doesn't owe me anything. Even though we're friends, he doesn't have to save me from a financial crisis. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't first of all, I should be doing my thing to try to make money myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not disabled. I have two functioning legs, two functioning arms. One thing I used to hate, man, my damn roommate I used to live with, he used to always ask me for a bottle of water. Like, he'd be like, bro, can you go to the fridge and get me a water? And it's like, yo, what's wrong with your legs, man? Are they broken? Like, your legs don't work? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always asking me to like walk to go get something for you. You know what I'm saying? I could never ask another man that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like, and we come from different upbringings. But even if I'm wheelchair bound, I'd rather roll my ass into the kitchen and get my own bottle of water than to ever ask you for anything that I'm capable of doing myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm capable, some people confuse that with pride. Nah, it's not pride, man, because let me tell you the difference with pride. There's some people that they're so against asking for help that they could be dying and they won't call your phone to let you know that you could be the one to save them. Like, they know that you could save them if only they called you, but they're too proud to make the phone call. Like, I'm not that damn proud. If I need help, shit, I'm calling somebody. Like, but at the same time, like, I can't neglect to do the things that I'm capable of doing. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, man, like, give me a second. 10%. Yeah. So there's things that I'm capable of doing, right? And if I neglect those things and I make it your responsibility to look after me as if you're my caretaker, then I am nothing but a selfish person. You know what I mean? Because first of all, I have so much potential in me that I'm not unlocking, that I don't care about unlocking, because I just want to be like, I just want to live off of other people for the rest of my life. I just want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea what my potential is. You know what I mean? To give you an idea of potential, I've been using Jeff Bezos a lot lately, but the dude, the CEO of Amazon, like, he has 6,000 employees. So the fact that he cared about his potential and his product and what he wanted to do in the world, he directly affects 6,000 people. 6,000 people have a job because of him. And I know some of you might argue, well, these 6,000 people, they would have a job regardless. I get that. Like, if he was a bum in his mom's basement right now, these 6,000 people would work elsewhere. But because of him, they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's opened the door to so many opportunity. Not only just those 6,000 people directly, but drop shipping. You know how many people are drop shipping on eBay and Amazon and making $1.3 million a year, selling like pens and glue sticks and school supply items on eBay, or like, taking it from eBay, listing it on Amazon. And it's crazy, man. So he's helped more than 6,000 people directly. You know what I'm saying? All the people that have a drop shipping business and an e-commerce store, or like has been inspired by to do a Shopify like store, like, you know what I'm saying? He inspired a whole damn industry of people. So it's more than just the people that work directly for him. You know what I mean? So these are the benefits of caring about your potential, man. Like, there's a chance that your potential 6,000 people might directly benefit from you being something. You know what I mean? So there's never nothing wrong with asking for help. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's extreme when people are so damn proud that they rather suffer than to ask for anything. But at the same time, so I think it's a healthy balance of seeing what you could do for yourself, and when the load becomes too big to bear, and there's some people that they have no qualms about asking you for stuff. Like, I sometimes I'll tell you guys this story about how this dude texted me at 7:30 in the morning talking about, yo, can I have Ritz crackers? Can I have a bagel with cream cheese? Can you walk it to my house? I'm like, bro, this not no catering service. Like, I hope your mom feeds you because I'm not about to leave my house to feed you. Like, you want me to prepare a bagel for you at 7:30 in the morning, dude. Walk it to your house because you claim that you're too late. Yeah, I mean, you woke up late and you're gonna miss the bus unless I come to you and bring you food. Like, how is that? What does that have to do with me, man? Dude, it's 7:30 in the morning. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Like, that dude, I could imagine his text messages get ignored a lot, but he doesn't know what a liability he is. He doesn't know that he's always needing something. Like, you know, that person that always needs $20 every time you see them. It's like, bruh, like, like, why you always need something? They become a liability to the point you just don't want to deal with them. You know what I mean? So if these people ever cared about their potential, and only God knows what that is, what their true potential is, they're not the only ones that would benefit from them getting there. Just like Jeff Bezos directly impacted 6,000 people. And I'm not saying everybody's going to be Jeff Bezos. Everyone has their own version of what their potential is, but we never know if we don't try. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, give me a second. Let's see how much time I got. I'm at 9%. All right. So, yeah, man, if you guys ever have any like podcast suggestions, please feel free to, suggest them if you want. I'll be glad to cover those things, whatever they may be. I've been on Instagram lately. I've been doing some lives on there. And yeah, man. Oh, I'll tell you something else. Like, I've known people that I've given advice to, right? And I've said the same things multiple times. I've learned how to, I just don't get frustrated because like I said, it takes a while for someone to adapt a new philosophy because the old one has held them captive for so long. It's just, change is, we resist change, because we just don't believe or we don't, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the people who have ever called your business opportunity a scam, these people are resisting change. It's not even personal towards you. It's just that they don't believe in themselves. So every time they call your network marketing business a scam, they're literally saying, I don't believe that I have the potential to make sales. I don't even think that they're saying that your income results is a scam, or I don't even think that they're saying that the business itself is a scam. This is what people say when they don't believe in self, and they project that as it being a scam when they're saying that they're just not qualified. They're basically telling you, hey, I'm not a qualified lead. I'm not a qualified customer. I'm not a qualified person to do a partnership with because I'll be a complete waste of your time. Every time I hear it's a scam, that's what my mind here is like. It translates it to that because that's what they're saying, man. They're just not qualified. So please don't get discouraged if any of you entrepreneurs that have businesses, just know that people are going to continue being that way. I know sometimes, they make these type of comments and you're like, yeah, well, they should just keep that to themselves. They don't know how to, man. Miserable people, they don't know how to be miserable to themselves. They have to spread that shit like the black plague. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just have to, and I don't know. And I feel like this is coded into us that whatever spirit dwells inside of us, we manifest that and we reproduce that and we spread that to the world. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is positive people want other people to be positive. Vegan people want other people to be vegans. Christian people want other people to be Christian. Muslim people want other people to be Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Like, motivational people want to motivate. You know what I'm saying? Uplifting people want to uplift. Like, so you see, like, whatever it is that you represent inside of you, that's what you're manifesting to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a scripture in the Bible that says, be fruitful and multiply. And I know a lot of people understand that as get married and have a lot of sex and have a lot of children, but it's deeper than that, because if you're insecure as hell and so is your wife, then the image that you're reproducing and spreading around the world, you're spreading the image of insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Like, now your kids you're indirectly teaching your kids how to be insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like, with the arguments that you have with each other, they grow up watching you, they become what you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when God says be fruitful and multiply, I think the thing that he wants people to multiply is his image, and his image is love. You know what I'm saying? Love, kindness, patience. You know what I mean? Like, so when people become love, when they become patient, they'll be like, you know what I mean? Like, here's the crazy thing, right? In the Bible, it says, the devil was like, yo, did God really say that when you eat from the tree of forbidden knowledge that you'll die? He was like, what God really meant to say was, you'll be like God, knowing good and evil, knowing everything. You know what I'm saying? But that was the lie, though, because they was already like God. They was already exactly trying to tell them they would be more like God. by doing the wrong thing. But so yeah. Anyways, um, so yeah, man. I remember my brother. He tried to hit me with that. He was like, "Yo, man, Bible says be fruitful and multiply." Because he be trying to get on me because I'm 28 and I have no kids. And he's like, "Yo, man, you better hurry up, man. You better hurry up." So I don't know, man. I'm not trying to have some monstrous kids. And the only way to ensure that doesn't happen is to really be the best version of myself. As I become the best version of myself, I'll do a better job attracting the right woman into my life. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was a piece of crap person, that's the quality of the people I attract into my life. Now I attract piece of crap women into my life and multiply with those type of women and create piece of crap children. You know, you see what I mean? Like, so yo, like I have to be the best version of myself and then, create a standard for myself and then, and then find somebody who's like-minded like me. You know what I mean? And then, and then when we raise our kids, we're telling them the same thing. So give me a second. Because it's so crazy. Give me a second. I apologize, yo. I'm at 5%. I'm gonna be on for like 2 more minutes and then I'm out. Maybe three. But it's pretty crazy when when parents are like, let's say the dad believes in one thing and the mom believes in another, and the kid is receiving conflicting information from two different perspectives. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "A kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation." So that family household is literally become a kingdom divided amongst itself because the dad believes in, let's say the dad believes in eye for an eye. If somebody does you wrong, you should do them wrong. The mom believes in kindness. The mom believes in forgiveness. The mom believes, what I'm saying, try to be there for somebody, like, like, like do right by others, be nice to people, even if they're not nice to you. And then the dad is like, yo, F that, man. Someone's not nice to you. Why would you want to be? So see, the kid is growing up not knowing what to believe because of two conflicting, belief systems. And, maybe the dad or maybe the mom, maybe they married each other. Maybe they was desperate. I don't know. Maybe they was both like 37, old as hell. And they're like, yo, who else is going to marry me? Well, we might as well get married now before we never find a partner. So now the only reason they got married is because I'm 37 and I don't know if I don't know how long it's going to take for me to find somebody else. So then they have kids. None of them are the best version of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care about their potential income. They just care about getting by. So then they indirectly teach the kid that, it's okay to just get by. It's okay to live below your potential. It's okay to just have enough and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I know some of the points of gratitude that we have, usually we're like, yo, at least I'm doing better than some kid in a third world country. At least I'm doing better than some kid in Africa. And I get that. Like, that's a good reason to be thankful. But it's not a good reason to stay where you're at if it's not your full potential. So the only thing I'm interested in is what's my full potential. That's what I want to get to. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to live a life I don't want to live a life of 45K a year when my potential is 500K a year. You know what I'm saying? 400K. I have no idea what it is, but it's probably a lot more than 42K a year. You know what I'm saying? And even though 42K is a lot better than, you know what I'm saying, some random kid in a third world country, that kid in a third world country has nothing to do with me. Like, I don't like to see people starve and suffer. It sucks that people go through that. But the only way I could help anybody is if I help me be the best version of myself first. And as I become the best version of myself, which is what I believe is what God created me to be, as I work more towards being that, other people directly benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Like these podcasts, like it took a lot of mental growth for me to come to the point where all these things that I believe in now that, they might have been in me years ago, but, I didn't podcast about them. I didn't talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man. Anyways, yeah. So with that being said, yeah, man, I think that's one of the most important things in the world is being the best version of yourself, man, because so many people benefit from you being the best version of yourself, more than just you, know what I'm saying? Your family, like, and I want to end this on a story, you know what I'm saying? I know somebody personally who they wanted to be a pilot. And if they were a pilot, they could have made between $150,000, $200,000 a year. They said no to being a pilot because they thought it was too hard, too difficult, whatever the excuse is. You want to know what they said yes to? Because when you say no to something, you're also saying yes to something else. So when he said no to 200K a year being a pilot, he said yes to 15K a year. You know what I'm saying? Living below the poverty line. He said yes to, having a wife and 2 kids and barely having enough to get by and always complaining about money and the lack of it and not having enough. See, when you don't care about your potential, when you say no to your potential, you say yes to a lot of debt. When you say no to money, you say yes to, you know what I'm saying? Like never having any of it. So people be like, money doesn't matter. It's all about family. Yo, when you say yes to a lot of money, you are saying yes to your family. Because if you have more money, then you could do more for your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't understand. Like, a lot of people don't understand money. You don't understand that when you say yes to money, you do say yes to a lot of other people. But it's never good to say yes to money at the cost of your soul, at the expense of, you know what I'm saying? I had a friend ask me, yo, would you blow another man for 5 million? I'm like, boy, you must be out your mind. Like, crazy. The way he asked the question, it made it seem like that's something he would be approved of, like doing, like, and it's like, bruh. And he's like, yo, it's $5 million. Nobody has to know. What if it's not recorded? What if it's, I'm like, what do you mean nobody has to know? I have to know. Like, I don't want that on my conscience. Like, I'm a person too. What do you mean nobody has to know? Like, so yeah, $5 million is cool, man. But if I have to blow another man for it, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, dude. Like, so to me, ethics matter, morals matter. You know what I'm saying? Money matters, but not at the cost of my soul, not at the cost of me doing something that I don't believe in for the money. And if I have to double cross people for it, it just becomes not worth it to me personally. I know there's people in this world that they're like, yo, I'll do whatever for $1 million. I'm just not cut from that cloth. You know what I mean? So anyways, to each his own, I guess. But, yeah, man. So to those of you saying money doesn't matter, yes, it does, man. And I need you to know that when you say yes to your potential, you are saying yes to a lot of money. Like I really believe this. I believe if people were living their dreams, they would get paid at least 5 times more than whatever their current salary is, at least 5 times more. In a lot of cases, it's probably a lot more than that. So many of you are talented, man. So many of you are good speakers, good bloggers, good communicators. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you want to do a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like some people told me I inspired them to want to do one. I hope I inspire you to do more than just want to do shit. I hope I inspire you to do shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, like, I don't know what you guys are worried about. Just do a damn podcast, man. Like, you're probably worried about the bad comments that are going to come, or people are going to say this, or people are going to say that. So adversity is a blessing. I want to end on that, man. It's a good thing when people act out of their mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you'll learn how to deal with them. You'll learn how to love them, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to get consumed by them. There's only 2 things that are going to happen. You're going to meet people that are crazy and out of their mind and have disrespectful tendencies and attitudes, and you're always going to be positioned to be bothered by these people. Or you're going to learn how to love them. When you learn how to love these people, then you learn how to overcome them, because love is how you overcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're always getting annoyed, you're always getting bothered, your blood pressure is being raised by other people. You know what that means? They're overcoming you. And the only way you overcome them is when you actually love the people you're complaining about. Like, I don't know, man. I have yet to find a better way of overcoming these people than that. And I know that sounds hard because some of these people don't seem very lovely. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to try to see people the way that God does, just pray to God and be like, yo, man, I want to see people the way that you do. You know what I'm saying? And when that happens, when your vision is aligned with his, life is amazing. You know what I mean? So anyways, thanks for the info. Yeah, no doubt, man. Anytime, man. Anytime. So anyways, that's pretty much it for what I have to say for this podcast. I hope I added value, man. And I'll definitely see you on the next one, man. Take care, everybody. See you later.